Men, do you ever feel like you just can't get ahead? Like you're misunderstood? Like you have no one to talk to that truly hears you?
And women, are you often frustrated, hurt, and saddened in your relationships with the men in your life?
What if there were a community of like-minded men going through the same challenges that would support, hear, and understand what you're going through?
Working together in unison to create understanding, intimacy, and strong connections. That's the Way of the Illuminated Warrior.
Way of the Illuminated Warrior Talk Show is a forum of candid conversations for men and women about men. Being a man today is not always easy. Until now.
All right. Hey there, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Way of the Illuminated Warrior Talk Show. I am Waska, here with my co-host, David, a.k.a. Boy Super. Say hello, brother.
Hello there. It's David 11. And it is 11. Yep. Back at y'all again. And we got some visuals this go around. We have had shows before. And I love the Illuminated Warrior show.
Right on. Yes, we have had a bunch of shows before, which we're going to start adding some of the old ones to this channel. So if you are picking up what we are putting down, like it, subscribe to it, and we'll just keep the content coming your way. So, so today's topic is going to be men need to step up and everyone needs to step up for men. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And we encourage you guys, men and women, because the show is for both. We're supporting men through our common intention of brothers supporting brothers. But, if you guys like it, send us comments, check out our links, which will be in the show. And what we mean by men need to step up, we hear a lot of things that are going on in the world, like men are, they're misogynistic, they're doing this, they're doing all the negativity stuff, which we'll get into. So what we're talking about is men stepping up as being really warriors for the elderly, for the children, those less fortunate, for their women, and standing like in integrity, standing in truth, and not letting those social pressures really put them in a place that it's just not authentic, man, and it's not cool. And everyone needing to step up for men. There's a lot of ways that men are portrayed that, yes, they very well is a population of guys who are deadbeat dads and misogynistic assholes and sex obsessed womanizers. Yes, there absolutely are. And then, you have the generalization, well, guys just like to sit around and drink beer and talk sports and talk shit about women, and then the other part is like, well, men have to be financially successful and tall and handsome and in killer shape, and it's just really puts a lot of pressure on guys. And it's what about the middle ground? What about the middle ground that, like me and my brother David walk, man? I mean, we're good guys. We're doing the best we can. We respect our friends. We respect ourselves. So anyway, let me open it up, man. David, what are you feeling about that?
I feel like this is a necessary conversation, because all those stereotypes that you just gave about men have to be superhero shape and saviors of everything. I get it. Supposed to be providers and protectors, and I don't have a problem with taking that role, but sometimes your expectation on how much I do might not be fair. So I think that the conversation just needs to be said. It's a beautiful thing. Men must step it up, because a lot of men just feel like the kingship throne means be lazy, and there's somebody will do it. But in actuality, you probably should be the one doing something to activate it, or either get it done one. Because I'm a person, I take the initiative, and I'm active with doing certain things. I might not even see it to the end. The activator is not the person that's the finisher all the time. I'm speaking on the lines of group or team effort, and definitely people should step it up for men too, because a lot of men suffer from depression due to not being appreciated. And we're going to get in a little deeper. That's about what I had to say. But one thing about it, the word man don't mean that you're going to be the the fighter, the farmer, everything all in one. You got to take it how it comes sometimes, and sometimes you have to teach, because nobody ain't born being the best. You gotta, step it up for the men. If you say, "Oh, you tall, why don't you learn how to pick trees or do?" I don't know. I'm just saying pick fruit just because I couldn't come up with nothing else. But basketball ain't the only option, right? So for tall people.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point, man. It's the stereotypes that really kind of keep us down. And again, there's the balance there. So yes, just like with women, also there's all kinds. So if we're really going to change this mindset and this paradigm of what men are and what men are supposed to be, we as men, obviously, we got to stand in our truth and our integrity, and like you said, also like the group or community aspect of it, you were kind of alluding to there. It's like we don't have to do it on our own, and that's why the brothers supporting brothers concept is like so important, man. Talking to each other, expressing stuff that goes down, the shit that's hitting us. We don't have to like absorb it all and then maybe go in the wrong direction. From that pressure, we could talk it out, and we could communicate. And figure out ways to change this, this crazy freaking idea of who we're supposed to be, because there are so many stereotypes, man. It's not fair to us, and it's not fair to our partners. It's not fair to our kids, our relatives, and if we don't change it, who the heck's going to change it, right?
Yeah. The stereotypes put so much pressure on men. We have people who just, like, you're a man, suck it up. What you doing crying? Why you don't say something? Don't even speak, because you're just supposed to handle it. And then we have a new term on the reverse side, something called toxic masculinity. So you want me to be this aggressor so much. Now look what you're dealing with. Now you got this man that's just roughneck and savage, for lack of better words. So yeah, and I think that came out of more women raising boys than men raising boys. So they just expecting the tough guy at all times. And yeah, that just don't exist in the real world. Not all times. You might portray it, and you might can get away with even being that for a little while, but not at all the time. I also want to say, as far as community work, people got to step it up for men, because when we put forth the effort, if y'all ain't backing it up or y'all ain't saying good job, then why would I do it, especially for free? So because again, that king, that pharaoh talk, people already think that you're supposed to just sit on your throne, never move off of it. I have a situation now where 2 people was killed in the neighborhood. So now tonight we have a prayer walk, and it's for one young lady, 22 years old, killed by her boyfriend, 17 years old. So say goodbye to the 17-year-old, and then you're already saying goodbye to the 22-year-old. So we're gonna have a prayer walk, and we're gonna talk about what is going on in the minds of the young adults, right? And I don't know, man. I think we got to pull some of these brothers to the side. I can't say what made him want to take it that far, but yeah, he killed her and dumped her in a lake. So, and that was your girlfriend. So I don't understand what really happened, but we got to talk to these guys about gun violence. We got to talk to them about just dealing with emotion, because I'm pretty sure it was a crime of passion, as they call it, that made him do it. But real pretty girl, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up on my phone. But yeah, these are roles that we got to help fill.
Absolutely, bro. I'm sorry for that loss, and man, I really pulls at my heart hearing those kind of things, especially young people. It's like exactly what was going on in their heads that led to this, crime of passion, this tragic actions. Like, was there anybody there for him to mentor him and say, yo, bro, I totally I understand you're upset, you're angry, you're feeling this, that, and the other thing. But there's a way out of this, man. Not to, pull the trigger or get violent or. So we definitely need to support the younger people to give them ways, man. I think that's I think that's part of my passion. I'm 61 now, and I don't really consider myself an elder. Let's check her out. All right, yeah, very beautiful, man. May she rest in peace. Yeah. So yeah, I don't consider myself an elder, but I do believe like with that, time and wisdom and, I don't know if other listeners have heard before, I've raised 3 boys, and it's really important to me that they know, and that really all guys know, there is another way, man. We don't have to succumb to that peer pressure and to that, that stigma and those generalizations that there is a lot of pressure on us, and that's what's important for, everybody to understand. We're not just walking around being assholes. I mean, some of us maybe, I don't know, but there's a lot of very real pressure out there, right? And we need to talk about it. We need to circle up like tribe used to be, like have the men like counsel and the guys who have the wisdom say, yo, this is not cool. This is not the way we do it. This is not how we support our community. It's not how we support our women. This is not what we're teaching our kids. So yeah, man, that hurts my heart to hear that, man. And I'll keep them in prayers. That's tough. That's tough. Yeah. So what do you talk to your bros about with situations even like that, man? Where do you go from there?
I try to talk to them. I definitely let them know that it's not right. I don't know that I had that conversation like that before.
Yeah, dude, you're a wise young man, man.
Yeah.
Step it up, brother. Step it up. You're a leader, man. You're a leader. You are a leader in the community. You put a lot of good vibes out there, and this is it's a sad, but it's also a good opportunity, like to spread your wisdom and let the brothers know, like, hey, man, even if it's like one person, man, even if it's like, hey, I'm here to talk to you because you do have a lot of wisdom and you share a lot of really good information and thoughts and ways of being. So otherwise, man, we're all out there on our own, and it doesn't work.
That's definitely a part of the problem. I appreciate all that because I like to think that I have some smart stuff to say. Yeah, we definitely out here on our own, and I think that just a certain level of advocacy would go a long way because, boys don't want to be alone. That's the reason why they join gangs. They want to have a family feel like they belong to something, like they are achieving something with a group. Like a wolf pack almost. So along the lines of treating women, we most definitely have to start telling them, a more gentleman's approach, because I have a whole lot of guys that don't mind going upside a girl's head. And that there can only lead to her pulling out a knife and you possibly pulling out a gun. And then what happens there? So, definitely got to talk about cause and effect, decisions and consequences. A lot of those things, they know better, but they really want to push the limit nowadays. And I know I'm the one that says, stay strong, be dangerous, and live courageous. I know.
Yeah.
But that's only in your personal life, on everything you're doing. Make sure that you're courageous. Don't, because one thing about it, people think courage is without fear. And that's kind of false, So if you got a speech to make today, go ahead and be courageous and make sure that you're sharpened and equipped with your words. That is becoming dangerous. You got a basketball game. Make sure you're in shape so that you're not out of breath. If everybody else out of breath, but you're not, you're pretty dangerous. I'm not saying go out there and commit crimes. I'm just saying stay strong, live courageous, be dangerous.
Yeah, I love that, bro. That's and I'm happy that you explained that also, so people know what you're talking about. Very, very true. And you reference like brother will pull out a gun, she'll pull out a knife, whatever it is, and it doesn't even have to be that I won't extreme. I mean, people pull out hateful words. People talk
Oh yeah,
smack against each other. People do, acts of betrayal and infidelity and, you know, just talking behind the other person's back or just doing all this, it's all the same, man. It's either we live with a life of integrity and I think it's really important, which, most of us don't do, like see the other person, see the other person. Like we've all got
yeah,
struggles, man. We have all got struggles. And when it's all just about me, you hurt me, you screwed me, you did, it just doesn't work, man. Like I don't know what you went through today, bro, before we got on this call. Maybe you're having a bad day, and you say something and I'm like, hey, screw you, man. Like, why are you taking the shit out on me? But it has nothing to do with me because I didn't
yeah, yeah.
even I didn't even ask you, hey man, how's your day going? You having a good day? Is there anything you need to talk about? You having troubles? And that's really where it begins. I feel like we got to communicate out there with
Oh
each
yeah,
other, with our brothers, with our partners, and find out what's going on and not take everything so personally that we're pulling out weapons, man. We're pulling out, freaking fatal weapons. And we know where that goes, man. It's a vicious circle and cycle that doesn't really help or serve anybody. So we got to step this up, man. We have got to step it up.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah. And do you think, man, like you look at what's going on in the world today in the Ukraine and so many other areas, it's really like a microcosm, I think, like what we're
Mhm.
doing in our own personal relationships, that it's exploding on the world stage in the macro view, like, the way we treat each other in our personal relationships, it's playing out on the world stage too. I mean, you see that?
Yeah, I can pick up on that. I definitely see that happening. You know, not really trying to get into the whole Russia thing, but I will say I can see how in the heart of man permeates throughout the globe. I recently spoke on the seven cardinal sins, and I always revert back to that because I'm putting that on my Instagram drawings and this and that. And you can actually see how it'll hurt, gluttony will hurt you, and then rage, wrath, hate hurts others. Lust can lead to something that'll lead to something, because like you said, infidelity might be the main reason for the crime of passion. And then, that's wrath. I mean, so, even greed is the main one on that top floor because once you have the pride and you have the greed, these two come together and they just demolish anybody's race, color, and anything because
Yeah.
we want it all. We don't want a little bit. We want yours and theirs. So all that resides in the heart of man. And then these spirits start tapping into people because they're like, oh, me too. I want to be the world leader as well. Any kind of weirdo stuff, but it all those spirits then embodies people, and that's what we become as living creatures, and that's what we would call a demon. The
Yeah.
demon is like relentless, no thought about it, just go. And this is the intention. The intention is to operate out of slothfulness.
Mm.
I don't want to do nothing, but I feel like I should have everything. And then shoot, if you slothful and greedy, how does that work?
We'll be right back after this. Do you sometimes feel down, lost, or lonely? Are your finances feeling sluggish? Can your relationships use a healthy tune-up? Don't fear, bro. Help is here. Experience the benefits of connecting with other men who are going through similar challenges. Be supported in our safe, sacred, and inspiring monthly telecircle with the Brotherhood of the Illuminated Warriors. Connect with Waska for one-on-one mentoring with the first session completely free. What have you got to lose? Check out illuminatedwarrior.com or send an email to Waska at illuminatedwarrior.com.
You're invited to step up your game and join us. You'll be glad you did.
It's gonna be like, you're not working, then you must be stiff. You must be doing all the fraud and, robbing or whatever. I don't know, but all of it comes out of that greed and we could always pile sins on top of sins once you get it started. And that's what I mean by in the heart of man. I could see it playing on a global level because not really knowing what Vladimir Putin's mission is, it may be to get the oil, but here in the 21st century, conquering another country seems to be a little ruthless. Just on the outside looking in, I don't know his motive, but we paint pictures for people too, though. We painted pictures for Saddam Hussein and all that. We don't know the truth. The military knows the truth, not the citizens. So, yeah, I just want to say that. So, and we got to step it up as men to understand women.
Absolutely.
Currently, and here recently, I've had a lot of female bosses. Like, I work for women. I'm like, oh, man, I got to listen to this. She emotional or whatever.
Stereotype.
Yeah, exactly. So now it's been humbling for me because, my father was an entrepreneur and then I had that spirit and I always worked with men. So, we feel like we got it under control. But now I'm seeing I get paid more when I'm working for a woman.
Yeah.
And the business, as far as administrative wise, as far as the paperwork, your taxes and all that, is a whole lot cleaner when you're dealing with a female boss. So yeah, men got to step it up and understand how to, I guess, be humble. Because I know every time you don't want to take orders from anybody, especially a woman sometimes.
Well, yeah, and that's understandable, but it also feeds like our ego, and like you're saying, like whether it's a world leader like Putin or just any guy, we don't want to take orders from a woman. I mean, that's a very antiquated way of thinking, and I get it. Until we actually see each other on an equal playing field, so to speak, and given equal pay, given equal respect, stop the workplace misogyny and all that shit. Of course, there's going to be quote unquote toxic masculinity. And I don't like that term because I think it's been used so much. Again, yes, there's some truth to it and all, but there's also, it's gone the other way as well, which I've seen and have spoken about with women friends, conscious women. Women have gotten a lot of freaking masculine energy trying to deal with this shit, and that's not good either. So we got to have that balance. And I just think it comes with the communication. You put out so many good points out there. I just was trying to just stay with it and can't really think back up, but a lot of really good points about stepping it up. And I think one serves the other. So like when we step it up and we're willing to be responsible for our own stuff and support our brothers and change the narrative, as the saying goes, then I think the rest of the world will have an easier time seeing, hey, you need to support the men, because if you perpetuate all these stereotypes, yeah, okay, we're going to keep living them, and not that that's okay, but we got to find a happy medium, communicating with each other, supporting each other, and finding so there's no toxic shit anywhere, right? I mean, just even in relationships, man, you don't want to be treated poorly, so why would you treat your partner poorly? And I know like Black History Month just passed, and there's a lot of emotion that goes along with that. Obviously African American people have not been and are not treated totally equally to wealthy white men, so it's the same thing. So you could put the women in that role also. Men of any color and gender don't treat the women with that same respect. So it just starts at the bottom and goes all the way up. We just have to see each other in the same light and just have that mutual respect, right?
Definitely. On that note, I'm still not in a rush to see a female president. But if it happens, what do I do?
Why not, man? Why not? They're not just emotional, man. It's better than just killing everybody, going to war, right? Now, seriously, why not?
I don't know look, the gender ain't the thing. Don't get it twisted. A woman to go to war too now, because I see more female fights in the community them going at it more than men. I see that a whole lot more. So I know that they'll push the bomb if they need to. But shoot, I don't even have a real reason why I don't want to.
I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that.
I'm not saying I don't want one. I'm saying I'm not ready to see a female president.
It's good that you acknowledge that, man. And it's a really good thing to think about. I really don't believe that a woman would send their kids into war faster than a man would. I really don't. I believe that they're that maternal instinct, you know, because they would rather, I believe, like have the dialogue until the dialogue just ain't working anymore. And then, yes, of course, women will push the button. I mean, look at the Native American culture, matriarchal in a lot of the tribes. And, you know, they would choose to go to war if necessary. But a lot of times it's like, no, this is how we're going to work this out. And men would not necessarily like that. But it did work out a lot of times without having to pull the trigger or press the button. So, hey, listen, man, personally, I think if it's the right woman, you know, she's just as good, if not better than a man in making decisions. And, you know, and it shouldn't be like one person anyway. President should not. And, you know, the way the system is set up, it's not. There's checks and balances. And so, yeah, but think about it, bro. Seriously, think about why you really wouldn't want a woman in there. And it'll be a good conversation. Yeah.
All right.
This is not going to get you any more women by putting that out there, dude. If you're trying to get women on this show, that ain't going to work for you.
I'm about to dig myself in a hole with this.
Come on, bro.
The lady's liking me right now. But you want to know something? I think I've been burnt by opinion, and due to my friends' situations and dilemmas. Imagine this, right? If a woman was in total charge of decision making.
She is actually, by the way. We just don't always acknowledge that, but she is on a lot of things.
Yeah, of course. Heck yeah. But all right, for example, the Me Too movement. A lot of people was falsely accused. And with the abortion, you know, I don't think they should kill all the babies, but the women saying we do what we want to do. All right. And now here we are with child support. Will anybody ever get off the hook if women in charge? So now with it's just when we
give women equal pay, men would actually be getting child support too. So there's a good, you know, good system.
Okay. Well, nobody never said that before. Yeah.
There you go. I mean, so it's whoever's making more money, you know.
Right. So yeah, that's kind of my thought process on. Oh, if the president was a female, shoot, ain't no talking to women, period, because everything you say would be sexual harassment, and they can indict
That's a stereotype, bro. That's a stereotype, and it's not if woman, it's when. A woman will be president. It's just a matter of when. And then we'll see what happens. You know, my take is like, we got to work this stuff out first, because you don't want anybody, whether it's a woman or anybody, to be like, you know, vengeful or spiteful or like, well, hey, I've been under the thumb for so long. Like, look at me. Now I have the power and I'm going to show you. I mean,
that's what I was saying.
The United States, you know, hey, love the country. United States is the world dominator in our mindset, and every great leader falls. You know, like a lot of these other countries are not going to be too cool with us when we're not the greatest power in the world anymore, right? So, I mean, we really need to. I know I'm putting it out there. We need to really step it up as human beings, not just as men. But you know, we're talking about stepping it up as men and having the integrity and building that trust, man. Like with our partners, with our brothers, and having the conversation going. So we're not pulling out these freaking weapons and taking each other down, because that's a freaking vicious, and you know, it's the snake chasing its tail, man. Shit keeps going and going and going. So yeah. So wrapping up our conversation about stepping it up, men stepping it up, everybody stepping it up for men. What do you want to leave the peeps with?
Oh man. Wow. Let me think real quickly. Stepping it up, in my opinion, socially, you know, let's get our what's a good word? Let's get our
shit together.
Definitely gotta get that shit
Sorry,
together.
don't want to put words in your mouth.
You know, on my page, I say I like to operate out of integrity. So I think that morally, we should get our just stepping it up would mean home training. Just have some home training, and then that would project on another person. Because if I'm respecting you, why are you gonna step on my toes? You know, why are you gonna step on my toes? So if I'm giving you all the rite of passage, then you may return the favor. And then, you know, then we'll have a little more grace out here. To the topic that you were saying about if we ever fall, we might not be the most popular when we down. So globally, if we start working on our moral stance, and you know, and the thing about the heart of man, it kind of took religion to remind people to kind of operate in a way. I know people don't want to be religious no more, but these things has become necessary because your thoughts is what you're gonna act on. And if you just feel like you're supposed to be in the front of the line at all times, and you can't even let an old lady pass you or no kind of courtesy, this is what I mean by home training, man. Step it up on the home training level.
Right on, bro. Right on. Yeah, and I'll just add to that. Yeah, it begins right here, man. It begins right here. Let's just let's have that integrity as we were talking about, and not succumb to peer pressure. Take a breath, man. Stand back and take a breath before you get so angry. One of my favorite books, real simple book, but a great book, is Don Miguel Ruiz, man, The Four Agreements. I think we make those four agreements with ourselves. Be impeccable with your word. Don't make assumptions. Don't take it personally, and give 100%. I mean, those are things I think should be givens, but really, man, be impeccable with your word. Don't make assumptions. Don't take it personally, and give it 100%. And that way we are stepping it up, and people will see that we are responsible, and, spread the freaking love, man, so I'll leave it off with that. So anyway, hopefully, our audience here got some pearls of wisdom out of our conversation. We will be back. So please, if you like what we're sharing here, subscribe, like, and follow us. And if you have any topics or you want us to talk about certain things, hit us up, man. Hit us up. Let us know. And on that note, brother, thank you for sharing this time this morning. It was awesome.
Yes, thank you as well, man. Illuminated Warrior here with David 11. Boy, super. Thanks again, too, Oscar.
Right on, brother.
Visit IlluminatedWarrior.com if you'd like to go deeper and find out more about what's available within the Illuminated Warrior Men's Transformational Community. Tune in next time for more candid conversations for men and women about men on the Way of the Illuminated Warrior Talk Show. Until next time, illuminate your path with loving kindness.